Hey, what up everybody, it's Sinny! And this is Gems of War on PS4. And today I want to go over the troops that are in the SOULFORGE this week, and the weapons in the SOULFORGE, and what's in the shop, and what is in the event chest. So, if you've been saving up your diamonds and your event keys, gonna let you know if you should spend them this week, based on what we have available. So, here we are in the SOULFORGE. Gonna take a look at what we have available this week in the SOULFORGE. I always turn my shards into diamonds here. Diamonds are what you're gonna use to craft these troops. SOULFORGE is really good for targeting specific troops, especially mythics. So if you want to know how to get mythics, this is the best way to target certain mythics at least. And if you are missing a certain legendary, it's another good way to get legendary troops as well. So if you're mid-game or so and you're wondering how everybody gets legendaries and mythics, this is how they do it. They do their dungeons every day, they save up their diamonds, and they wait for a troop to come in right here in the SOULFORGE, and then they go ahead and they craft it. And now they have whatever one they want, as long as they have patience to wait for it. So it costs 4,000 diamonds. To get diamonds, you're going to need to do dungeons every day and buy the dungeon offer with gems on Sunday if you have enough gems. And then you can go ahead and craft one of these mythic troops or a legendary. Also weapons. You can craft weapons as well. But we're going to look at the troops first here. So first we have T&E, the Possessed King. Zul'Goth's always here. Xathenos is always here. Plague, War, Davinia, Hyndla Frostcrown, Magnus, Kraken, and that's it for this week. So what would I recommend? This week I would recommend that you do not spend your diamonds. You should save them up for something better. Save them up for Ferrous Ra, save them up for High King Irongut, save them up for Infernus, save them up for something else. If you don't have all of those troops, there's no reason to get any of these this week, I would say. The best one is the Possessed King, probably, out of the mythics. War is useless. Never craft him unless you're targeting him as one of the last mythics you need or something. Plague, never do Plague either. It's terrible. It's one of the Apocalypse troops. They're really old. They're out of style. They're not used for anything, so do not craft these two unless it's the last one you need to complete all your mythics, maybe, because that's what I'll be doing eventually, hopefully. Xathenos, you gotta craft him. He's always available, so don't worry about him until you're ready to craft him. You gotta buy all those 3 weapons and all that, get 4,000 diamonds and 300 gems. Zul'Goth is like the ultimate prize in the game. I'm going for him right now. I don't have him yet. 4 more power orbs to go. I was telling somebody in the comments they spent one of their blue orbs on the class weapon, and I was trying to explain to them that you shouldn't do that because you just need 250 victories to get the class weapon, and that is just a matter of time, while blue orbs are really rare in the end game, and they're hard to get, and you need a bunch of them to get this Zul'Goth here, because you got to turn your orbs into power orbs to get Zul'Goth, and you need 3 for each one, so I still need 12 blue orbs, and they're the ones that pop the least, so hard to get. Back to the troops. So like I said, War and Plague, never craft them. Xathenos and Zul'Goth are always here. The Possessed King is decent. T&E, no, I would not craft T&E. Maybe a little bit better than Plague and War, but he's still bottom tier. I would not craft T&E. But the Possessed King is the best choice if you're like super itchy to craft a mythic. Maybe go with him. He's probably a top 10 mythic. But I would still recommend you save your diamonds for Ferrous Ra, Infernus, High King Irongut, stuff like that. There's many more before you get to the Possessed King, so I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're just itching to use your diamonds, maybe the Possessed King, but once again, don't recommend it. Let me go do the weapons now. We have Oaken Crown, which you can get from a event, so do not craft it here. Go ahead and go grab it from the event. I think it is the raid event. So you just need to buy up to the weapon, which I always recommend, with gems instead of using diamonds that you need for mythics. Soul of Zathenos and Heart of Zathenos are just always here. They're used for Zathenos. Same with Dawnstone. Dawnbringer, you need a million souls, all three of those other weapons. Which Dawnstone is used for, sorry, not Zathenos. That's what these two are. Also, they go to Dawnbringer, so don't worry about that unless you're going for Dawnbringer. But Elemental Bow, it's not used for anything, but if you need it for completionist purposes, which I'm going to go ahead and buy it now because I need it for completionist purposes, 300 diamonds and a couple different jewels, 3 celestials, 15,000 souls. I'm going to go ahead and get it because I'm at the point in the game where I'm kind of just getting things I don't have, filling in gaps. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. But yeah, so as far as troops go, the Possessed King's the best of the bunch, but it's still not recommended until you have at least High King Irongut and Ferris Ra. But he's probably top 10, top 15, something like that. And so yeah, I would skip it this week. Do not craft anything this week. Just save up your diamonds and wait for Ferris Ra, High King Irongut, and Furnace. Troops like that. Let's go take a look at the shop. This is important because you want to grab Dandelion here, the new troop. I usually just grab one and then you open chests to fully ascend. Eventually, I just let it take care of itself over time. But the good thing here is the Arcane Mountain traitstones. If you need traitstones right now, you can use your 300 glory and get one. Here, let's just buy one real quick. You get an Arcane Mountain traitstone. So this is the way you can target traitstones that you need. So if you need Arcane Mountain traitstones, you would save up your glory until this week, and then you would go and you would buy as many as you want. I can get 200 of them if I want to. Well, I can't, but you could if you wanted to. You get as many as you want, and that's how you target traitstones with resources. So you save up your glory, you wait for it to be available in the shop, and then if you need a bunch of yellow-brown traitstones and you don't feel like farming them, you can come in here and buy them with the glory. And you also get 10 gold keys and 2 glory keys each time as well, plus the Dandelion troop, which isn't great. It conjures a leaf storm and either disease, entangle, or poison all enemies. That's kind of crappy. I don't see what that would be used for, you know, because you're not going to get a guaranteed disease, entangle, or a poison, and a leaf storm you can get with just traits or talents. So really crappy troop. Don't recommend it. I think you can get extra gold or something with the troop this week. Let's see. Right here, you can get extra glory if you use them in PvP, but it's really not worth it, so excuse me. I wouldn't do that. Just set your kingdom to Whitehelm if you want glory as your home kingdom, and they'll give you tribute and you'll get glory over time. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Chests. So, event keys. This changes every week to a different kingdom. So this is also how you target mythics and legendaries. If you need a certain mythic or legendary from a certain kingdom, you wait for that week, the kingdom's week, and then during that week, if you open event chests, you will get a better chance at getting that mythic or legendary from that kingdom. So, this week is Forest of Thorns. So if you saved up a bunch of event keys, you would get mythics and legendaries from Forest of Thorns, and it takes out all the other legendaries and mythics from all the other kingdoms out of the drop table, so you have a way better chance of getting a mythic or legendary from Forest of Thorns right now during this week. So if you saved up your event keys and you need a Forest of Thorn troop, this would be the week to go ahead and use all of your event keys. Let's go take a look at that troop pool. Let's go to Forest of Thorns. This is how you look up what is available in Forest of Thorns. go to the troop menu, go to Forest of Thorns, and go to Show All. And you can see every troop you will get from the event keys if you use them this week. Troops like Forest Troll, decent, used in the Truffle Shuffle team, whatever you want to call it. Green Seer, not bad early on in the game. King Avalorn, we're using him this week. Well, at least I am for raids. King Bloodwood is the mythic. He's not super awesome, but if you don't have him, hey, it's a good week to throw event keys for him. But once again, I would save your event keys for Ferris Ra, Infernus, High King Irongut, stuff like that first. But if you really wanna, if you're itching to use them, go ahead and throw them at King Bloodwood if you don't have him. Let's do by base rarity so I can. So King Bloodwood, wouldn't really target him specifically unless you have a lot of other mythics already and he's just a blank spot you need to fill. Yasmin's Chosen is used in some teams for her Entangle. She entangles a random enemy when matching green, so sometimes she's used in like Guild Wars and stuff like that. So not bad. If you don't have her, you know, and you have a lot of other legendaries and you just need to fill a blank spot once again, not like I wouldn't specifically target her, but you know, if you need her still and she's one of your last ones you need, maybe go ahead and do that. Alder Father, not really used that much. Gloom, and he's actually a delve troop, so never mind, you wouldn't get him out of the drop table right now. Gloomleaf, no. Sylvan Amor is decent, it's a dragon. Used in some teams for Entangle once again. Tangle the first enemy on 4 or 5 gym matches, used in like delves and stuff like that. So not a bad troop if you don't have it already, and it's one of the last ones you need. So King Bloodwood I never really use. Yasmin's Chosen and Sylvan Amor I actually do use, and they're legendary, so if you want to go for those two, maybe. But once again, I still would not recommend it if you need like every mythic and every legendary. Don't be opening just for these two. Then Forest Troll you can get from just normal chests throughout your Gems of War life. You don't really need to specifically target him, but he's used in the Truffle Shuffle team. And Green Seer early on, Rowain early in the game. But I think you get her from a quest, so you don't really need to do that either. So overall, not a good week to open event keys unless you are filling a blank spot, like I said. But that's really everything so far. Let me show a one team, or show you, yeah, one team for, I guess, the Possessed King, and a couple of other troops available this week. I forgot to talk about the legendary troops that are available. We have, so legendary troops you don't really want to craft in the SOULFORGE because you really want to save your diamonds for mythics and like old weapons that come around only once in a blue moon. So you really don't want to use them on legendaries unless it's like the Dragon Soul and you don't have it yet, which is the best legendary for like soul farming purposes and early game like PvP and stuff. But Divinia I actually use sometimes. Hindla also actually used sometimes. Magnus never used. Kraken used early game, like early PvP. If you like really need a team, you could do Kraken with like Justice and Queen Mab and your hero maybe, something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend throwing at any of these legendaries either. Divinia would be probably the one if you were itching so bad to craft something, because let's show some teams I actually use those troops in real quick. Was it yellow? No. Let's see. Red defend? No. It was something, come on. Okay, brown Guild Wars defend, I use Divinia. So that's one place I use one of those troops. And defending in Guild Wars on Brown Day. Green Guild Wars is where I use the Possessed King for offense on Green Day. So that's where you would get the most value out of the Possessed King if you went and crafted him this week, would be in Guild Wars. It's a really good team for Green Day. Also the Yasmin's Chosen, if you want to throw event keys and get the Possessed King, you would make yourself a good green Guild Wars team. And there was one more, Guild Wars Red. I used Divinia. on offense with Alchemist and Furnace and Dawnbringer. So that's where I use them, but I don't know if I'd specifically target them and craft them with diamonds this week, because if you still need Ferrous Raw and Furnace, King Iron Gut, and there's several more troops I would get first. So overall this week, I would not craft anything unless you're filling a blank, unless you already have like the top 10 mythics and you just need to fill in those certain legendaries and mythics. Possessed King, Divinia, Yasmin's Chosen, all used in Guild Wars. Sylvanamora used in Delves, Yasmin's Chosen used in Delves, Possessed King used on Green Guild Wars. Yeah, so that's my opinion for this week. You got 4 more days to craft these troops if you want to do it. Today is Thursday as I make this video. The weapons, don't copy me. I did not recommend making the elemental bow. I just didn't have it and I'm filling in a blank like I've been saying. So wait for mythics that you really need. Don't go and just spend them because you finally got to 4,000 diamonds. Do your dungeons every day to get your diamonds. Save up your event keys to target specific troops from specific kingdoms on specific weeks. This week is Forest of Thorns, King Bloodwood, Yasmin's Chosen, Sylvanamora. So if you're saving up for this week for some reason, today's the week to open your event keys. But save up your event keys, save up your diamonds, wait for a better week, and like, share, subscribe, become a member, consider becoming a member, and I'll see y'all next time.